prime creator of all that is. We are, and here we are, finding ourselves in a quiet space of connectedness. When there is frenzy all around, this space we are in right here, right now, gives us respite from the crazy of the mental madness. Pause, and breathing in brings us back to Source. For it is Source that is our beginning and our familiar home. Consider we are tethered to that sacred place, that we are free to go, to roam as far afield and as amok as we choose, but that our tether is our lifeline. When we roam too far, when influences are not in alignment with from whence we came, doesn't it make sense that when we find ourselves in struggle, emotional pain, addiction, whatever, what we are really needing to realize is that our sacred space is too far away, too intangible, or too forgotten. That we need to remember our tether, our connection to the one prime source creator that imagined us into the all of existence. Thank you, God Creator. Thank you for who we are. Thank you for the breath that reminds us that we are of you and you of us in this truly divine and perfect creation with every imaginable and unimaginable permutation. True freedom is knowing that our stretching the limits and its consequences, sometimes seemingly unbearable or futile, is really the path to home, that we are free to go far out and away so long as we remember our tether, our connection that is ever present. It only takes the thought to pull us back to alignment with the beautiful being that was created by the one, that is us. Let it be so, and so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head from the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I have some information I'd like to read. I'll comment on it also. If I talk too slow, go down to settings and turn it up to 1.25. I was hoodwinked. Were you hoodwinked? I was hoodwinked until I was 75. I knew things were all wrong and I was angry. I was the only man at anger management class that was not required by a court's order to attend. I was actually doing the work to learn how to control me. MK Ultra, anyone? Buildings do not fall down like that. I'd been in construction engineering with Martin Marietta and American Machine and Foundry a long time ago. The VA and their psych department and private shamans and living better through chemistry, prescription meds and non-prescription drugs, LSD and mushrooms and yada yada. And I smoked my first joint when I was 28. And I got into my last fist fight when I was 65. There's a great deal of difference between dad to a 10-year-old when dad is 30 and dad to a 10-year-old when dad is 60. Yep, deal with it. 44 did not meet the requirements of the office he was in. Afghanistan and Iraq were constitutionally impossible. The Department of Homeland Security is bogus, and they know it, and they do it anyway. Color law. This has been a benevolent form of martial law, Labor Code, since March 1861. It has recently turned malevolent. We, all of us that are aware and not criminally inclined or included, again, we, all of us that are aware and not criminally inclined or included. As an example, sociopaths that usually keep it together as a cop. A lot of men are trained killers, and some work for the cops. They are not for our peace, safety, and happiness. We, that same group mentioned above, informed the Oregon State Sheriff's Association and the sheriffs, all 36 of them, in 2017, before we had even named ourselves the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. We've taken a lot of steps in the time that has passed, and had the sheriff self-corrected, what a difference that would have made. How does that saying go? Wish in one hand, and William named it. The line is drawn. Everyone's status will be determined when they are confronted. Sheriffs cannot hide in the crowd, neither can deputies or Leos. We have prosecutorial discretion. And the Article 3, one Supreme Court claiming original jurisdiction, Article 7, found in Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record. We are no longer deceived. We will not be deterred. Most people do not know what I am talking about. Most do not even give two shits. 62.5% of the population will not speak the truth to the de facto. Actually, return to a constitutional Republican form of government this year, 2025. We completed all the requirements and the paperwork on Oregon, November 2022. If you are unable to qualify to occupy the office of sheriff, your sworn duty, every deputy will know and the general public will know. This is a good opportunity to do over, to do it correct this time, not as required observance of the de facto, but jure, honest, constitutionally. You know, the Constitution that we were not taught in school for 5 years, beginning no later than the 8th grade. You know, that ORS. That inattention to detail will stunt our peace, safety, and happiness for generations. Now the sheriffs and the cops, civilians on patrol, lump men and women that are not subject to their de facto authority, and they lump them in with the group that is criminal. Sovereign Oregonians without ruler or subjects are jura summa imperii. Until we hurt someone or until we damage property that you observe or you have proof of, you need a valid wet ink warrant or a finding from a grand jury. We are not the problem. We are the solution. Without all of us, the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly doing the work, this had never been done before. People talked and didn't get the job done. Others have attempted this and failed. Some others are attempting it right now. Rocky Cumlin, Provost Marshal for the Oregon National Guard, told us that there are several assemblies on Oregon. I know of 2 others. No, 3. Hooray for all the assemblies. He says he sends that information to the FBI about me too. So do I. I notify the FBI on all the stuff we're doing. They acquiesce. They have no authority. Look up the Pinkerton Act. We will wind up in the same place together. You are either a jure constitutionalist or a de facto, one or the other. De facto is defined as illegal and illegitimate or illegitimate. This experiment in government that has been an anathema to the powers that should not be. Monarchs didn't like this idea from the start. There are over 200 members in the United Nations. Not one other of them has a constitutional Republican form of government constitution where the people are sovereign. Only us. Out of the 33 states and 17 territories, only Oregon has made it to jure as in Article 1, Section 1 of Oregon's Constitution, and with full faith and credit, all the rest. So, we were first in line this time. Delaware was first in line last time. One of our sheriffs will be the first one done out of 3,000. That's how many sheriffs there are, approximately. 2 states don't have sheriff. Actually, Alaska's a territory, and Rhode Island. Not one Oregon sheriff out of 36 since 2017 has been able to fulfill the requirements of the office of sheriff. That's ORS 206, DPSST, Safety and Training, the county HR, and recorder, with oath and bondability to the proper constitutions with the laws of nature and nature's God included. It's all specified. It's all written down. Compliance is required, and not one of them is in compliance. And these are the people that say, do this, do that. They run the jail, and they auction off property. And they can't get their bona fides in order. We audited them. We posted 9 of them in their county bulletin boards and kept it up for 60 days. We served all 9 of them by hand. We have true bills from the grand jury, and we have verdicts from our Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Record. And we've notified Yamhill County Commissioners that their sheriff, Sam Elliott, does not have his proper bona fides, and it's time for them to act. And I yield.
Where are our sheriffs? Our Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Records has made numerous visits and relentless communications to our county sheriffs on Oregon. Why? Because our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. It is our county sheriffs that should be here to assist seniors to prevent their eviction from their home and all they possess. It should be our county sheriffs who protect and defend the people from a corrupt court system rather than ticketing them or supporting the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts. Our sheriffs seem to be avoiding any engagement with us, the people reaching out for a conversation about their refusal to see us. Contact requests are met with cricket sounds. Where are our sheriffs? It is significant that they take a proper oath to the Constitution circa 1859 with its original jurisdiction, that is, to the people rather than to a corporation, to our Creator, that is, with God included. Such a dejuration and oath is needed for there to be remedy in our system of governance. Let's get this ball rolling. It just takes one of you to make a difference to get it started, to assist in awakening your colleagues in sheriffdom. Let it be so.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I'm talking to you about July 21st, 10:30 a.m. on the plaza in front of the State House, Salem. We're going to be meeting there. Caveat to will, probate in open court. Our Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record that we've had going on Oregon since 2018 will have subpoenaed various departments in the state of Oregon to provide their bona fides. They make claims, and it's now time to prove those claims in open court, an Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Record. Then we'll make some decisions. With the input from all those that testify, those that come because of a subpoena or don't come because of a subpoena, it'll be up to them. If they refuse to come and bring their documents to prove their point, to provide proof of the claims they make, Article 7 amended is legit. We say it is not, it is bogus, and they have no proof. And we'll see if they arrive with proof. We'll see if they even arrive. We've invited Tobias Reed and his number 2, Mike Kaplan. That's the closest thing that we have to anybody in the state of Oregon governance that might be legit. We know that the governor's office under Kate and Tina is not legit. They're both convicted criminals. They have no honor. They can't hold a position of trust. 89 out of the 90 legislators can't. So, step by step, we've brought them to this point. We've brought ourselves to this point. We've brought Article 1, Section 1 of Oregon's Constitution, the Social Compact, the provisional government on Oregon, is going to hold open court on the plaza, 10:30, July 21st, 2025. And I yield.
I want to welcome everyone to this presentation of our instrument, which is going to be activated by our court of record on Salem. It's a civilian common law court of record. And we are doing a caveat to will, probate, and open court, our court. July 21st at 2025 at 10:30 a.m. at the plaza facing Salem Capitol. This is a subpoena ducis tecum and subpoena testificandum seeking constitutionally correct remedy. It is directed to the Office of Secretary of State Tobias Reed, to whom we sent a return receipt requested certified original of this instrument. And to the rest, there are about 9 others to whom we sent copies of the original. That being one is Deputy Secretary of State Michael Kaplan. So Office of Secretary of State Tobias Reed and Deputy Secretary of State Michael Kaplan at issue. Number 1, Article 7 amended is de facto from November 8, 1910. It is fraud. Acquiesce or rebut in open court. Number 2, provide a copy of our Oregon Constitution circa 1909 prior to the fraud. The Oregon Supreme Court Justices Megan Flynn, Stephen Bouchon, Bronson James, Arun Amasi, Rebecca Duncan, Christopher Garrett, Roger DeHoog, and counsel Lisa Lampe, and I have her actual correct name, Lisa J. Norris Lampe, State Court Administrator Nancy Cozine, Legislative Counsel Dexter Johnson, and Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield. Number 1, Article 7 amended is de facto from November 8, 1910, and is therefore fraud. Acquiesce or rebut in open court. Oregon State Bar Leaders, quote, ORS 2.020, 2.540, and 3.050, and identify claim number 1 that Article 7 amended is de facto from November 8, 1910, that it is fraud. Acquiesce or rebut to our open court. The claim has been made and is being made that Article 7 amended is constitutional by the printed documents from the legislature for 115 years. Our court has found your published claim fraudulent. This is your opportunity to defend the claim or acquiesce and default. Number 2, provide a copy of our Oregon Constitution circa 1909 prior to the fraud. Statement of fact. We are in Article 3, 1 Supreme Court, claiming original jurisdiction combined with Amendment 7, a civilian common law court of record. With regard to Article 7 amended, it is the province of the court to judge the law, that of the jury to decide the facts. Remedy for a man or woman with our progeny against the state is found in Article 3. Mukini 303 hides our Article 3 courts. In suits in common law, judges decide on matters of less than $20. And then we have a full faith and credit governing law is established in this document at this time to be, and there's a list of that, which you can read on our scroll here. And then on Oregon, without the state of Oregon, the AKA all caps state of Oregon, within the United States of America, the constitutional Article 4, Section 4, Republican form of government. I have a long bona fides that's included in the document, the instrument, and on it included is the proof of service to the following, which I will read. Tobias Reed, Secretary of State, who got the original, and copies were sent by mail to Michael Kaplan, Deputy Secretary of State, to Casey Cotting, Superintendent, Oregon State Police, to Lieutenant Colonel Rocky Kumlin, Oregon National Guard, to the State of Oregon, DAS, care of Shelley Hoffman, Michael Reese, Director of the Oregon Department of Corrections, Maya Kehoe, President of the Oregon State Bar Board of Governors, Lisa J. Norris Lampe, Counsel for the Oregon Supreme Court, Nancy Cozine, State Court Administrator for the Oregon Supreme Court, Chris Strickler, Director for the Department of Motor Vehicles, and Dan Rayfield, Oregon District Attorney. So we hope to see you on Salem on the 21st of July at 10:30 a.m. across from the State House. Thank you for taking this seriously. This is a subpoena. Thank you.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. And then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I fought. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, shot him 3 more times.